Dad Mod's Media Machine presents the Brews with the Dudes podcast.
All right, man. It feels good to be back doing this again in the studio.
In the flesh.
In the flesh. Yes, in the flesh. Yeah. Hey guys, welcome back to another Brews with the Dudes podcast. I am Jake Lindquist.
I am Donnie Allen.
And with us is nobody.
Nope, we
Not
just
a
have
soul.
somebody here in spirit with us.
Yep. So we knew that it was going to be kind of a handful to try and get things coordinated. You know, you're back from your vacation.
Which was much needed.
I'll tell you guys all about my crazy week here, and it was just easier for us to do just a solo one once we got back, check back in, get everything set up, and get back into the swing of things, because we haven't been able to do this consistently for about a month.
Yeah, between sicknesses and vacations and all that. So
Yeah, so let's drink to that.
it is what it is. Should we share beer?
Yeah, just well, I mean,
Try
you
this.
you got those real good antibodies. You've got the I had COVID antibodies, and I
Exactly.
don't know that I've had it.
Probably not.
Probably not.
You want to find out?
I mean, I hope that I already have, and it's long since passed. Because some people never know.
That's true.
That's the silliest part,
Yeah, you
and I
can
hope
have
that
it
I'm
just
one
not
of
have
them.
symptoms.
Yeah.
Now, see, I'm just now like we got back from vacation, and I have like it's just like a little bit of a cold, like a little bit of a cough once in a great while, and a slight runny nose periodically.
Oh
Like, just-
shit, dude! You got Delta.
Yeah, Delta. No, we flew Sun Country.
Yeah, you got Sun Country. Oh man. Well, it looks like you got a little bit of sun.
Oh, it was lovely.
Speaking of
It
Sun
was
Country.
mid 60s, and then the last like 2 or 3 days was low 70s. It was just lovely. We played
Yeah, that
some
sounds
disc
awesome.
golf, met some really nice people, explored a old aircraft carrier, a retired aircraft carrier.
Yeah, not like the urban exploring sense of it.
No.
Like it
a
wasn't like
museum. It's
you can't go here and you took your whole family.
yeah, it's
like,
not like we hopped a fence and snuck onto
okay.
it.
It would have been a really good story if you did though.
Oh, it would have been sweet. Yeah, we swam through this channel, and once I fought off all the sharks,
Yeah,
we were able
you
to
just held Ember above you and
Well,
swam with one arm.
She's got that helmet, so it acts as a flotation device.
Yeah.
So I just kind of like pushed water at her. She just kind of floated towards the aircraft carrier.
Hey man, whatever works. Whatever works.
No, I found out. So we went aboard the USS Midway. Oh, that was in service from like 1945, like 2 months after World War II ended, all the way up until like 92 or 93. So this thing saw the Cold War, it saw Vietnam,
Damn.
and it helped provide support for Desert Storm. They have a bunch of
Wow.
different fighter jets and helicopters and all that kind of stuff. A couple of them you can actually go in, which is pretty sweet. I have a picture of the wife and kids inside a Vietnam helicopter, which is pretty sweet.
Okay, that's cool.
It's super cool.
Were the kids pretty stoked about that?
No, the kids were more impressed with, because the airport's downtown in San Diego. They were more impressed with the planes taking off from the airport than this aircraft carrier looking at all this old cool shit.
Oh man, go figure.
The wife and I loved it. The
Fucking kids.
Kids were just like, airplane. I'm like, yeah, no shit. There's 30 of them up here.
This is what we're here for.
And so that was super
Jesus.
cool. But what was even cooler is we get back and we were over at the mother-in-law's last night, actually, having dinner, and found out that Christine's grandfather retired off of the USS Midway.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, he retired in the early 80s.
Is he still alive?
No, he passed away 4 years
Bummer.
ago.
He would have been stoked to hear that you guys went and checked it
how
out.
cool is that? That your grandfather was active duty on this thing.
Can you imagine the stories he'd have?
Oh, yeah.
Where he'd probably just be like, "Oh, I got freaky deaky with this, whatever down in the mess hall.
Yeah, so
like we
we-
made a mess of the mess hall. Hey, inevitably would have jokes like that.
Oh yeah, so we were stationed in
But
Japan
jumping off
for
the decks.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was super cool. One thing we do when we travel to nice places is we go and play a little bit of disc golf, mainly with kids, get them out exercising, and I love playing the sport. It's a good excuse for everybody.
Go and burn some energy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the first day we're there, we go find this beautiful 9-hole course that's in this park and all that. It's really nice. The park is fantastic, and it's $5 to play for the entire day, just to help maintain this beautiful park that they have.
Okay, that's cool.
Go to use their kiosk, and my debit card's not working.
Oh no. Well, did you alert your bank that you're going to be gone?
Yes. after.
And it still didn't?
This is
Oh,
after.
okay.
But my card didn't work at all this entire trip.
Yeah.
We had to use the wife's card for
Convenient.
everything. Yeah, go figure.
You guys have the same account, so it doesn't matter.
fucking matter. We paid cash for pretty much everything, with the exception of like $200.
You carried cash the whole time?
We brought a good chunk of change with us. We did
You
not
carried cash.
not all.
Okay, so if anybody wants to know who the people are to rob,
No. We didn't
find
we didn't
these,
carry
find the
all
Allens.
we didn't carry all the cash with us all the time.
Okay, so you had multiple opportunities for shitbags to rob you. They could rob you at the hotel room. They could rob you on your
We didn't
walk.
stay at a hotel. We stayed in an Airbnb.
Even less secure.
It's fucking fine. This house had security cameras and shit.
I mean, it's just amazing to me that you guys made it. You got
Fine. Fucking it's San
Oh,
Diego. We're
God.
good.
How did you make it this long in life?
I have no fucking clue. I don't know, because I still look both ways when crossing a one-way. Like,
That's true. Yeah, faith in humanity
Yeah.
or lack of.
so anyway, so this isn't, my card's not fucking working to pay this $5 fee, and this group of 3 dudes walk up, and guy makes a comment about my tattoos. Next thing I know, we're talking about tattoos and all that, and my wife kind of poking fun at me because we're showing each other body art and all that. And I make the comment like, "Oh, is there a trick to getting this kiosk to work? We can't get to work." And a guy walks over and just slides his card in. I'm like, "Okay, well, let me give you cash." He's like, "No, don't worry about it. Thank you. Welcome to San Diego." And then he had us tag along with their group to play 9 holes with them.
He paid for.
He paid the
okay,
the
so
$10 for Roman and I to play.
Okay, so the kiosk, it wasn't an ATM.
No, it's
this
like a
was
little-
like to purchase.
Yeah, it's got a touch
entry.
screen. You enter how many people, and then you hit select, and then you pay. You enter your card, and that's it. Kind of like paying for your parking. Same concept.
That's awesome.
So,
This
yeah.
dude just covered it.
Yeah, and he's like, and he invited us to play with
That's
them and whatnot. So we
awesome.
played 9 holes with these guys.
They really good.
No.
Really?
They're okay.
There for the hang.
One guy,
Yeah.
was his first time. The other 2 were into it, but not like super good. One of them was a little bit older gentleman, and he's got 2 daughters. So he never got to hang out with like a little boy, and he was really kind of bummed about that. And he hit it off with Roman. Like he was like
No shit.
showing him like, oh, he's like, hey man, come here and show me how to throw this and all that. And Roman would throw his shot, and the guy would like, it was just awesome to
That's
see the
awesome,
energy and all that.
man.
It was super cool.
God.
And Roman sunk a couple of putts from like 25 feet, and the guy's like, holy shit, and then he ran up and gave them all high fives, and they were all it was just a blast. It was just a super good
God,
experience
that sounds
right out of the gate.
awesome. I know that's so
It was just nice to meet really nice, friendly people on vacation, you know?
for sure. Well, and also like, how wild is it that like some people don't get both kids?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, some people just never get to have children,
And
then there's people who just like they have 2 daughters or they have 3 sons or whatever it is.
Yeah.
They don't get to have both genders. Both of us are really fortunate that we got
both.
We got both.
Yeah,
Like,
we're very lucky.
oh man, this perspective. That dude was super stoked to just like play with a little boy
Yeah.
because
It
he
was-
wanted a son.
We're
That's a trip.
We're like 4 holes in, and he's like, this little dude's my spirit animal today.
Yeah,
And
he's just all about it.
He's just full
That's
of
cool.
energy, and the guy was just, it was just awesome to see. It was such a good time.
Yeah, that sounds like a great
And I was
experience.
telling the wife, like, that was one of my favorite things about the trip. And it was, it's kind of dumb. It's not going to the museums and stuff like that. It's just this really fun hour and a half on a disc golf course with random people.
So you can, well, and I think there's apps for it, but I also think like there's probably maps that you can just that are made specifically for like logging when you've gone and if you've hit all the 50 states.
Yeah.
And I wonder about like disc golf. Like, could you plot that on a map? So like over the years, you could like plot all the different places that you've done disc golf.
There's already an app.
Oh, there's an app
It's
for it.
called UDisc.
Wow.
And it allows you to track any tournament going on in the state. It's a sanctioned tournament. Like even like lower tier stuff, you can follow
Wow.
all that, and they'll do live updates to them. People are recording
That's
scores
cool.
and all that. You can keep track of all of your rounds, and you get a player's number. So if I go play around with Glenn, and Glenn's keeping track of our round, he can enter my player's number on his scorecard, and then it'll upload onto mine.
Sweet.
So, and it's got a search function where you can use your location, or you can type in a city or whatever, and it'll pull up all the courses in the area. You can click on it. It'll tell you latest conditions of the course, pictures of the layout, scorecards, length of the holes, all that kind of stuff.
Wow, that's fucking
it's
awesome.
super awesome, and it's like $20 for the year to use.
Yeah, that's really not too bad.
I
Wow.
purchased it. Yeah. And like we used it there. We're sitting in the Airbnb like, okay, let's see what courses are around us. It pulled up 7 courses. And then I was
That's
like, oh,
just nuts.
oh, this one looks great from the pictures. You hit directions. Oh, it's only 10 minutes away from us. And it'll instantly connect you to Google Maps and give you a route to get there and everything.
Wow.
It's super, super cool.
Yeah, that is awesome. Well, that's such a good utility. If you think about like whatever your passion is, just having the ability to have like a centralized system to help you find what you're looking for. So in hobbies especially, it's a good example where it's like, well, how do I find where car meets are?
Exactly.
And that's a super difficult thing to figure out because like a disc golf course is easy to just log.
Yeah,
it's either a business or it's
a public park or something like that.
Exactly.
And
so you can just plot that.
And it's there and it's done.
It's not going anywhere.
But a car meet is there for 3 hours.
Yeah. So that's a hard thing to plot.
Yeah.
I think Dan Balto from MNCEC, so the Minnesota Car Enthusiast Club, like that sort of big it's a club to house all the clubs. It was intended to be sort of a centralized car enthusiast hub for the entire state, not to be like straight up the only forum you ever use, but it's meant to be sort of like
it's kind of a
the source of where you find a lot of the big events as well as like marketing for all the other little ones, stuff like that. It's really just like a coalition, big as far as that goes. Where was I going with this? He's working on he has an app called Carmunity, and they're working on developing it. And the goal behind that was sort of that exact principle, that concept of like logging meets. Like you can literally in real time see other people that are logged into the app. So other car enthusiasts, you could see like cruising around and stuff like that. So you could potentially just meet up with people through that measure.
Super cool.
It's a killer idea.
It's a great idea.
You guys should actually check that out. It's called Carmunity. You can find it on all the socials, and then the app, of course. I think it's still in beta. I think they're still working on the testing phase, but I want to say that you can download the beta right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna download that.
Yeah, it's a really
lovely.
cool app. It's a cool concept.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's cool when you can take a centralized source like that, and just be able to find it all. And it's especially cool that you can log that you've been there.
You can log that you've been there.
Yeah, that's really fun.
If you keep track of your score on there, it'll save it so you can go back. And at the end of the year, it'll tell you what your percentage are. Like you birdied 30% of the holes you played or whatever.
Wow.
You can track distance. It'll use your GPS location, so you can throw it, and it'll tell you how far you threw it when you walk up to your disc, and you can keep track of what kind of conditions you threw it in, wind, and what disc you threw, and what weight. You can track everything with this app.
Holy shit, that's really cool.
For a disc golf app, it's really in depth.
It sounds like they need to develop something for car racing.
They do. There's 3 racetracks over here. That's cool. And
yeah, but just like even for plotting times and distance and stuff. I got a feeling sweet. Cody Smith Motorsports, dude who built my lower control arms. I want to say he's got a really killer. I think it's an app. It's some kind of module that it's video, but I want to say it covers telemetry and all kinds of like cool shit. We're talking cornering G's. Like I think it's got GPS.
Okay, so yeah, that
and it has like tracks built into it.
Yeah, that I'm assuming would keep track of your times and stuff like that too.
Yeah, so if you go on Cody Smith Motorsports YouTube, he's got a few different tracks that he's done where you can watch that video in real time.
That's sweet.
Or not in real time, but you can watch that video and see kind of how it works. It's super cool looking.
I wonder if you could do that with like an Auto X event where you do one lap on the track, it would keep track of the location and kind of the distance, and then see if you.
We could ask Cody. I'm not sure. Maybe. I mean, I know that it's especially tailored for like road tracks, courses, because it's got Gingerman, it's got Road America, it's got BIR, it's got all like the bigger tracks. But yeah, it's a good question. I wonder if it does autocross. I mean, it's probably going to log your start and stop times, stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm assuming it would do that at least. Because at that point, it's just 2 coordinates to do stop and start.
And if nothing else, I mean, it's shooting really good video too, so you get some kind of cool race footage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I really want to look into that because I don't have something to race right now, but
you got the shoebox.
Ideally, the shoebox someday will be able to go a little bit faster on corners. Not like the BMW necessarily. I mean, I might try a little bit, but we'll see.
They're two different animals. I'll drive the
Very.
shoebox the same way I drive the BMW. How about that?
You'll drive the shoebox the same way,
Yeah.
so you're gonna break it.
I didn't break the BMW.
Yeah, but this is an old car, and I built it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We'll just go get lunch with it.
Oh man, hey, I want to actually give you guys a little bit of an update since we haven't had a podcast. We had Aiden on, and
Yeah.
that was so the
2
week
weeks ago.
before. Yeah, so like when this comes out, there'll be a week gap where there wasn't a podcast. And yeah, when we had Aiden on, I think it was the last time we talked about kind of build updates. You don't have any updates
Nope,
right now.
because I was in the sun.
Yeah. So the shoebox is coming along really good. Tonight, I actually I messed with the leaf springs. So as much as I hate to say it, I am doing air over leaf, just temporarily. Maybe this year I'll get a link suspension in the back of it, but I'm not sure. That might be next winter, and then I'll make it it'll be a very focused thing, meaning like we'll put a shitload of time into engineering it. I really want to make this thing handle as good as possible. I want to make it go as low as possible. I want to kind of like do as many cool things as I possibly can with it and really do it right so it's not rushed. And if I try to do it this year, it'd probably end up rushed to get in there.
Yeah.
Because it's got
already
to go
March.
to Power Cruise. Yeah.
It's already March.
And even right now, it's great because so tonight was the first time that I got the leaf springs back in, and it sits. I want to say it's maybe an inch and a half off of the bump stops. So
That'd be a perfect height.
it looks great, yeah, and I might be able to cruise it at that height, maybe. So I got to get the shocks back in because it doesn't have shocks right now, and that might push it up a little bit. I don't know, but yeah, it looks super cool. I'd like it to be on the bump stops, like I'd like it to be as low as possible. But I also want there to still be some support with leaf springs.
Yeah, you still want a little bit of comfort as well.
Because the bags will help. The bags are going to bear the majority of the weight, but I still want there to be potentially as much support as possible with the leaf springs. So what I did, and there'll be videos coming out here eventually, kind of explaining it, so I removed leaves from the main pack. But what I'm doing is I'm doing it kind of systematically, so I'm not just straight up plucking all of the leaves out except for 2, because there's 7 in it. I pulled 3 of them out and just tested it out. And, I went and had them inspected by a leaf spring guru here in town. It's a Duluth Spring Company. The guy's been doing it for decades, so he knows his shit. He saw it, and he's like, yes, I could have a main leaf built for you, but nothing is like this old American steel. And he showed me examples, and I go into that in the video as well.
Nice.
Talking about like just apparently this old steel that they used is so freaking good. So get this. These leaf springs are 72 years old, right?
Yep.
They measure identical when they're removed and measured eye to eye to the bottom of the leaf pack.
No
The 2 of them
shit.
are identical. So
Damn.
these things they're wearing exactly the same.
Yeah.
And he inspected them and said that they look great. Like, even though they're ugly and
yeah.
they're dirty and stuff,
They're still in great condition.
they're still usable. That's the craziest part. I thought they looked like they were sagging, and I think they are a tiny bit prior to pulling some leaves, but he said they look fine. So run them. Like,
Yep.
don't
Okay.
try and get
Just
custom
leave
ones
it.
made. Just like run it. So yeah, wild.
That's awesome.
So yeah, that went in tonight, and it's sitting really low now. So it's got 2-inch blocks plus a few leaves pulled from the spring pack. It looks good. Looks really good. It's almost level with the front of it completely aired down. So that's where it's like I kind of want to pull a couple more.
Just to see if you can get a little bit closer.
Or rather pull one more leaf, or maybe run a 3-inch tall block. So it's an axle. What it does is it spaces the axle up.
Yeah.
There's trade-offs with that, because if you could think about it, you've got a curved leaf, and the axle. Excuse me. curved leaf, axles in the center of it. The further you push that up off of the leaf down here, right here, it's got, you know, only so much torquing motion on it.
But the higher up you go, the more
You
torque
raise
it's
that
got.
up, there is more there's a
It's
phrase
more
for
side
it.
to side.
It has more leverage on the spring,
Okay, that
basically.
makes
So
sense.
you run into axle wrap issues and stuff like that. So it'll beat the crap out of your leaf springs. Wheel hop, all kinds of things that you don't want. Basically, you risk breaking a lot of shit if you have that happen. Because you also have to figure, like, if that twists, it means that your differential pinion angle's changing as
all
well.
that changes.
Everything's getting the crap beat out of it. So
Maybe just leave it at the 2
not
and call
ideal.
it good. And
yeah, I think I want to get it out of the garage and drop it all the way down. Walk back, you know, get a good distance behind me, like look at it, see how I like it, and then kind of go from there.
that makes sense.
Because 1 inch lower, if I do like instead of a 2-inch tall block, a 3-inch tall, it's a tiny bit more leverage, a little more risk of axle or a spring wrap, but it still shouldn't be hitting the bump stops. So the leaf springs should still be providing a little bit of support and stability with the bag doing the bulk of the lifting. So we'll see.
Give it a shot.
Yeah, I mean, and if
I'll
nothing
just a little
else,
bit of time.
looking at the photos of it, it looks awesome right now.
You'll get a very good look at it at the car show.
I will.
In a couple weeks.
Yeah,
We'll have both cars at Motorhead Madness.
I know.
March 19th.
I'm
down at the
so
deck.
stoked. Yeah. Yeah, so the whole weekend, Duluth Entertainment Convention Center. Another reason for people to fly in.
Yes.
It's cold and shitty that time of the year.
Yeah,
Don't.
and cars
Just
will be
don't.
covered with assault, unfortunately.
We'll take video. We'll show you guys it. It's a really fun event. We did one in the past where we unveiled the Civic, and that was so much fun.
It won its category.
I know it won an award, and
Did we ever get that?
we didn't. Well, and I mean the reason we didn't is because the people who were running it, the wife passed.
Yeah, that's
so
right. That's correct.
I needed to meet up with her, and then life got in the way, and like 6 months later she passed. She was sick. So I don't know that we'll get our reward, our
It's
award.
It's fine.
I'll if I ever see Jack, I'll ask him about it. Or maybe I'll ask Mike.
Let's
Mike
just win a
runs it
couple
now.
this year.
Well, yeah. Oh, we might.
Yeah,
I mean, we
we
got
very
some
well could.
really cool cars that we're bringing down.
We do.
So we have, we actually have two. Is it 20 by 20 spaces?
Yes.
Yeah,
We have like half the room.
We got
I don't know.
2 oversized spaces. Well, and part of it was we didn't know if we were going to get to have the bus down there or not.
Which is unfortunate, but that's fine.
And that was going to be our way to fit 3 vehicles in there. So we'll set it up. We'll try and do podcasting down there and have a good time having people over and shit.
See how that goes.
Yeah, I think it'll be super fun.
I think it'll be a blast. I think at first we'll kind of have some things to work out, but it'll be fun.
For sure. And what'll be super cool about it is that extra space means that we can work on parking cars uniquely. So we've got a handful of people that are actually going to be showing in our group with us, kind of in our area. And our goal with this whole thing was to really like showcase the diversity in the car community around here. So
We have a little bit of everything.
this event has been traditionally beautiful old classic cars. It's been the Mustang clubs.
There was the Challenger Club?
Yeah.
The Chrysler Club, I think is what
It's
it
like
is.
the Mopar or
yeah.
whatever. Yep. So it's always very typical in that it's got muscle cars and then old classics, but basically from like, I don't know, the 90s and on, short of being a couple Mustangs and a couple Camaros, there just really isn't a lot of diversity in newer stuff. So the younger population, and we tried our best over the years to try and bring stuff to it, but we always kind of got marginalized. Like a Corvair got the tuner award over like an S2000
It was making like
with
what, 900 horse at the time or something
it was
like that?
700 or 600, something like that at the time.
something
But
high, though.
yeah, it's a big, massive turbo on an S2000, and that didn't win. So it was that kind of BS that kind of rubbed us the wrong way, and we sort of just gave up on trying to engage. But things changed. Like time went on, and the older guys, I think have, you know, they've seen enough really impressive modern performance cars. They've gotten beaten by enough of them, I think.
I think that helps,
there's a little
actually.
bit of like, there's a little more mutual respect. And then we get to today where we're all a little bit older. So there's more respect going around. And we're also some of the people that are running events.
Yes.
So,
We have a little
and
bit
we
more-
don't tolerate that
A
kind
little
of
bit
shit.
more saying stuff.
Yeah. And it helps. It's all very supportive. And I think like that narrow-minded view of tuners being, you know, it's those Japanese kind of jab crap kind of comments. I think all of that is sort of, that's the old view. You don't really hear a lot of it anymore.
No, you don't. You still hear it a little bit. I
Yeah.
mean, I do, but then again, I work with some old timers.
Yeah.
So I'm just stuck hearing that. But
There's a few of them that are still that narrow-minded, but the car community I think is changing a lot. And so that was kind of our goal with this spot, is that like we want to really engage like the crew. We want to
Yeah.
talk to we have an amazing car scene around here, and so we were like, hey, you, and like we're talking to people, like messaging them, hey,
bring your shit out.
you've got something fucking awesome, bring it out. We need to show, like, we need to get the youth into this, because the youth aren't
Exactly.
necessarily there for challengers. Like, they're probably
and
there for the
if we can't get the youth involved in car shows and stuff like that, the hobby goes away.
yeah, it really does.
Like, you have to get young people involved if you want this to stay around.
Yeah, the only thing that I'm bummed out about is that we weren't able to get anything EV.
Yeah, that's a little unfortunate.
Like we I mean,
we had the
Steve is
one-
down in the cities.
So we had the
and-
one Tesla kind of on.
Yeah, Steve, he used to show with
online.
us, and yeah, his was wrapped. I think it had a set of wheels on it. So it was a Model 3. It was a really nice car, but it had a ton of character, and it was like I was really proud of it because it came out to Machines Caffeine a bunch of times, and we had such a cool variety where we'd have muscle cars, we had an EV car, we had, you know, lifted
Tuners,
Jeeps and
240s,
everything,
Miatas,
straight up imported cars.
Harleys and sport bikes and whatever.
Lots of good shit. And that's kind of what we're trying to do, bring to this event as well, this Motorhead Madness. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And really what you're doing the whole weekend is you're hanging out, drinking beers with your boys
Yes.
and talking cars and eating mini donuts. So
I forgot about the mini donuts.
lots of deep fried food.
I've been eating healthy, but I'm going to destroy some mini donuts that weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's like I got to butter up the wife a bit because I pretty much want to spend the weekend down there. Like I want to spend Saturday and Sunday down there. Like
Yeah.
the whole time.
That's kind of my game plan.
And
too.
just hang out, you know.
Yeah.
It's so great. I love it. It's such a great event.
I have to find a babysitter because it's the wife's weekend to work.
No,
But
really?
she switched it.
Oh shit.
Yeah, she's working days on Saturdays. She's like, I was switching it to days so I could make the show in the evening at least and come down.
Okay, cool.
So I'll figure something out. I might have a kid tag along, but that'll be fine.
Will it? You're
Harper-
drinking a lot of beer.
Oh yeah, Harper would be fine.
Harper would be fine.
Roman would not be fine. Roman's a fucking
Oh,
handful.
I see what you're saying. Like in terms of just hanging out and probably not throwing a hissy fit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Harper would be fun.
Harper would be
She'll
just
just be
fine.
hyper.
Yeah.
all over the
Yeah,
place.
she'd want to walk around and look at shit and like probably sit and everything. She's obsessed with she is obsessed with the interiors of cars.
Is she?
When we went to that show with
That's
you
cool.
in Scanlon? Is that in Scanlon? Carlton area?
Yes.
Every car
yes.
that we walked past, yeah, she wanted me to lift it up so she could look inside of it.
Oh, I suppose. Yeah.
She likes looking at the seats.
I guess. I mean, it's the closest thing she has. She looks at a motor and she doesn't really go like,
she doesn't
"Oh,
get what's
that
going on."
means this."
But the
she
seat-
looks at a seat. She's like, "Oh, that feels comfortable,"
Yeah,
or
that's
"It looks
where you
pretty."
sit. Yeah.
It's like the closest thing that she's got to, I don't know, being able to do something with it. She can sit in it.
Oh, she has sat in the engine bay of the BMW before.
Yes,
But
and
it's
we
not-
have video of that.
We do have video. By the way, anytime I'm watching a dad mods video, she brings up, she's like, can we watch the episode I'm in?
Yeah,
I'm like,
so
that's not how that works, kid.
Well, she appeared in the first episode of the E30 series,
yeah,
so
for like-
Kansas.
Yeah, for like 5 seconds. There's a
Tops,
shot.
yeah. Just like, I think it's an overhead shot that is panning up and she was like turning a wrench on something.
Yeah, and I think she just likes the fact that she's in our show. She
Yeah,
just
that's
think it's
cool. Well, I mean, now that your car is driving, we can totally shoot something that's like, you know, kids' reaction.
Yeah, that's kind of the game plan. Now that it's running pretty good.
Yeah, we'll like throw a GoPro or two up in there, and then she can cruise with you. And
I know she wants to drive it again.
yeah, we're not gonna film that.
No, that won't be filmed.
If we had like private property,
Yeah.
I can tell you got cats because my fucking sinuses. Every
We
time
have-
I come over
we
here,
have
I got this
a
like
cat.
sinusy shit.
We have one cat, and she's a bitch, and she hates everybody but me.
Yeah. I end up all nasally sounding because my sinuses are swelling up.
And you're old.
Yes. Okay, there's truth in that.
So old that you can't go to a metal concert.
Okay, good. I was about to try and segue us somewhere.
I got to segue right into that.
Yeah. Well, by all means, let's hear it.
All right. So let's see here. This is gonna come out afterwards. So the Sunday before this video, Killswitch Engage is playing in the cities with August Burns Red and Light the Torch. And the reason why that's a big deal, if you follow metal music at all, Howard Jones used to be the vocalist for Killswitch Engage and is personally my favorite living vocalist right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Killswitch is what got me into heavy music. Back when Headbangers Ball was a thing on MTV.
Oh God, yeah, I remember that.
They
That's
played
funny.
their video for Holy Diver, which is funnier than hell because it's a medieval theme and the lead guitarist is dressed up like a princess and shit like that. And Howard Jones is a blacksmith and whatnot. It's a super cool video. But I was hooked. I saw that, I loved it, I laughed, and I'm like, I gotta check these guys out, and it just snowballed from there. So Howard Jones has always been on my bucket list to see. He's always been like right up the fucking top. And after a couple albums, he ended up leaving the band due to, I think, his diabetes and just the pressure of touring and all that. So I never got that chance. But he's in a new band called Light the Torch, and they're the opening act. So they actually do half the set with Killswitch, and you get to see him actually perform some of his material with Killswitch.
Yeah, it's pretty legit.
Which is going to be fantastic. This guy, though, apparently has better things to do than go see this.
So, the reason why I was looking at it in terms of
Time management.
there's a few things going on. That's a big part of it because
water
honestly, so what I've had a lot of shit thrown at me this month here.
Physically?
I would be more tolerable than all the crap. So we had a water main blow. And it turned out that it wasn't the city side, which is real fun. That means that my my personal service line cracked, and the city would normally just say like, no big deal, just fix it when you can, basically, because it would just mean like a slow leak of water,
muddy yard and stuff like that.
pretty much. Yeah, there's a little bit of trickle down the road. But because it's winter time, it was causing significant ice buildup, like massive, to the point where
your street was covered in ice.
it was basically flooded in ice and slush and all kinds of scary shit. Like cars
on
were
the
almost getting
sidewalks
frozen
and all
in.
that,
And so I got a phone call one morning, and that was like, we're gonna shut your water off. We have to. And so I lost my shit, flipped out, and I was like, we've got babies in the house. You guys can't be just shutting our water off. And over time we worked it out. I mean, it literally took calling the mayor's office and being like, these fucking assholes are telling us that they will let us draw water for 15 minutes a day, and that's it.
Shit.
There was, and everybody we talked to had a different story, and it was real unimpressive. And one of the guys that we had, my wife actually talked to, was incredibly patronizing and just an asshole to her. Just a total fucking asshole. Because basically what happened is, like, we got told, like, wait to hear from the city, and then we never heard from the city. And then when we did hear from the city, they're like, we're going to shut your water off. And we're like, well, what the fuck? You didn't tell us what the next step was.
Yeah, there's
if
no
you
heads
wanted
up,
us to
nothing.
call up a contractor, why didn't you fucking say that in the first place?
Yeah.
So, a lot of drama. In the end, we got it fixed. It's repaired now, but yeah, it sucks.
Shit show.
Because it's a big bill. So probably $2,000 some odd dollars just to get it repaired, and in the process we found out that it's lead lines, and yeah, it's lead lines. We don't know to what degree, if it leaches a high content or if it's a low content.
So you have to get tested and all that too?
Yep,
or?
we got to get the water quality tested, and then because the wife and I just want to make absolute sure, we're gonna have the kids tested to make sure that they're at a safe level as well. So just kind of to try and cover all those. But the reassurance is, it's an old house. It's a 100-year-old, 110-year-old house or whatever. Yeah, 110-year-old, 115. Might be a 115-year-old house. It's an old house.
It's just old.
And so it's got lead paint and stuff like that in it. So when I did some construction in the house, I just wanted to make absolute sure, because I was paranoid. I was, how do I explain this? I was having to redo like framing and doors and stuff like that.
Yeah, so that shit's gonna
old
flake
plaster
off
was
and all that kind of
falling,
crap,
and I said, I want my son tested. I just want to make sure I'm not exposing him to shit. I wanted that like reassurance that I wasn't causing him to get exposed to like lead and stuff like that. Yeah. And so they did a blood test, and it came back just fine. And he was 2 years old, and he was already drinking water out of the faucet and that kind of thing. So
yeah, he should be fine then.
that makes me feel a little bit better, but until we know for certain the kids aren't drinking tap water, that kind of thing.
Well, that, and now you've kind of tapped into it. I mean, you've taken it apart a little bit and patched it and all that kind of stuff too, so that could disturb.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, I don't know what that actually does. Yeah, it's cute. We've got like this 2-foot section of like nice fancy copper line, and the rest of it's all fucking lead.
Oh, no.
So frustrating. But so yeah, that's been a big can of worms that got thrown at us while we were dealing with. So we had massive COVID outbreaks at the kids' preschool, at my son's preschool, and that caused like basically we can't really afford, with how demanding both of our jobs have been, we can't afford to lose 10 to 15 days worth of preschool. So we took our son out for a few days, and then we put him back in school, and then there were snowstorms, and then so we're playing catch up on all this work kind of stuff. So
it's just a lot of shit.
What would happen to go to this concert would mean I'm giving up a work day in the garage, partial work day in the garage, and also literally the next work day, because we probably want to stay the night, or we'd be getting back late enough that I'd have to do a half day the next day.
Jeez, that makes sense then.
It's complicated. It's like, feasibly, yes, I could probably pull it out of my ass and try and make it work, but it's another expense after this massive surprise bill.
Oh, I completely get it.
It's tough with work. It's more pressure on the wife.
It's time consuming.
It's kind of a lot of things. Stuff, and it sucks because it's like, believe me, I love Killswitch. I've been listening to him for, I don't know, decades.
Yeah.
Like, literally, yeah. When you think about it, I've been listening to them for a long fucking time.
Early 2000s?
So yeah, it sucks because I sound like a totally fucking whiny old man who just wants to sleep, or something. But
I found a replacement.
Yeah. So who's going?
My
Your daughter?
wife.
Okay.
So I thought about bringing my son actually.
Your son do it?
My son.
Oh, man,
loves,
that'd be so funny.
He loves heavy music, but he's just not quite old enough to be at a show. He's 4.
Yeah.
Like if he was 6 or 7 and communicate a little bit better, I would really think about it, but his communication skills aren't quite there yet.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I convinced the wife.
What do you want?
I'll take a hazer tag this time around.
Let's finish it off.
So yeah, so I convinced the wife to go with me, which is kind of funny because she hates metal music. she appreciates.
Yeah.
She appreciates just the music aspect of it, and she likes that. She doesn't get why they scream.
Well, and Kill Switch is a safer option for her. It's not Cannibal Corpse. Well, it's not
that's
screamy growly.
That's where things get interesting. So she likes Howard Jones. I've played a ton of his other stuff. And Light the Torch, I think she's really gonna like because it's a lot more clean vocals.
Yeah. And
she knows some Kill Switch songs, and she actually likes some of their songs. It's the middle act that she's gonna fucking hate, though.
Who's the middle?
August Burns Red.
Oh, okay.
I fucking love.
Yeah,
August Burns
that's
Red,
pretty screamy.
But they're very heavy.
Very, very heavy.
Very heavy.
That makes me sad. God damn it.
I told her, I'm like, she likes their Christmas music, but there's no words there. It's just them thrashing out, I told her, I'm like, what you're gonna have to do? Because she's like, is there someplace I can go? Can I leave and come back? I'm like, no, you can't do that. I'm sorry, that's not how this works.
What venue?
The Fillmore.
Yeah, there isn't anywhere to go.
No, and it's a beautiful place. It's a small place too. On top of all of it, like just focus on the musicians because you'll like that aspect, and fucking just people watch.
Well,
block out the screaming and just watch people go crazy during all this.
You guys bringing earplugs for her?
For her, yeah, I'm not gonna fucking wear. I never wear earplugs.
Well, sometimes people just don't like heavy music because of like there's just like a sensory thing,
Yeah.
like it's too loud or it's the screaming.
There's
it's
a lot
pitch.
going on in it. You got fast music, crazy drums, crazy guitars, and then somebody screaming on top of it. There's a lot of shit.
It's very
going on.
overstimulating.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's like for me, like with my kids, it was especially the case with my son. I actually had to keep earphones or earplugs around all the time because there was something about his cry that, like, if it was going on for too long, it hit this certain pitch where it felt like a ringing in my head. And if I would wear earplugs, I could handle him crying all day long. But if I didn't have that, it would wear on me, and then I would get like really tripped out. Like it would like just make me anxious and really weirded out about it.
Irritated very easily and stuff like that.
Very, yep. No patience for it. Like it was just not good parenting. It just wasn't a good situation. But those little earplugs in, fucking lifesaver.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring a bunch for her just in case she loses some. So
yeah, well, and get a couple drinks in her, loosen her up a little bit.
Well, obviously. I mean, we are getting a hotel room.
Nice. Giggity.
Yeah, we found a Holiday Express 5 minutes away.
Wow.
So, perfect.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
So cheap, decent hotel.
Yeah, it's like $100
in walking distance
with food. She's got to work evening shift on Monday, so she's like, I just want to be back at time. Like, we'll leave by 10 o'clock. We'll be home at lunchtime. Eat, kind of get ready for work easily. All that shit.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, so she asked me. She's like, I don't want to ruin this for you, though. She's like, I know how excited you are. I don't want to ruin it if I don't enjoy any of it. I'm like, well, you're one of my favorite people, and I get to go see one of my favorite performers. Like, it's gonna be, I'll be happy regardless. And she's never seen heavy music. Like, we've gone to a couple concerts. We saw Queen, and then a couple months later, we saw Coheed and Cambria with Mastodon.
Yeah.
And she liked Mastodon. She actually likes Mastodon, but they don't really scream. They're heavier, but they don't scream. And she really enjoyed that show.
They're closer to like a Judas Priest.
Yeah. Yeah, she really enjoyed that. And I told her, I'm like, this is going to be different. Like,
oh, yeah.
Mastodon and Coheed have a little bit more theatrics to them. And it's like people are rowdy, but like you're going to see some shit you didn't know happen at concerts. Like, it's going to smell like weed, and you might see somebody take a boot to the face. Like that's in the realm of possibilities.
If she hasn't seen a mosh pit,
yeah,
she's gonna see a mosh pit.
She's gonna see a wall of death.
Yeah,
she might see a wall of death. Like,
yeah,
and that's what I told her. I'm like, just go in it with an open mind. Just remember, you're not there to please me. You're just people watch. Like, I'll be fine. I'm gonna be so wrapped up with what I'm watching. I'm just gonna want to make sure you're not like anxious to leave.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just people watch, just because you're gonna see a completely different side of humanity than what you've seen at any other show ever.
That's such a funny way to put it.
It is though. It's true. You're gonna see everything from dudes walking in wearing shorts with jean vests and fucking spiked hair and covered tattoos to women wearing black high heels that go up past their knees and skirts that if they bend over, you're seeing
it all.
You're seeing it. Like, it's a different style of person that goes to a show like that,
Now it's making me sad because I love metal shows.
They're so fun.
Especially once you started talking about that leather. It's always a leather skirt with the they're like high-heeled combat boots.
Yes.
Yeah, that go up. They're like thigh-high.
And then they have like the buckles on them. There's like 20 buckles.
Well, it's big titty goth girls.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's like if she queefs, she sounds like Lamb of God. Just
Wow. And that is why we mark every episode explicit. Oh man.
But that's metal music. Like it's just
those are my people. I love it.
Same here. That's what I told her. I'm like,
God damn it, now it's making me sad.
I'm like, I want to take you because, like, I've experienced this shit before and I fucking love it, and it kind of centers me. You know, I
totally
feel
get
just
it.
healed afterwards. Like, I want you to experience this once. you're gonna fucking hate it, but I want to show you.
Or she'll love it. She'll go there and be like, "Oh, this is actually a really fun group of people."
Yeah, it's a shit show.
These bands are wild.
It smells like balls. That guy just took an elbow to the face, and everyone's laughing about it.
It definitely smells a little bit like Sweaty Dude.
It's Sweaty Dude and marijuana.
Yes.
And overly priced cheap beer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like $8 Mick Goldens.
Yeah, pretty much.
They might be 10 now. Oh
yeah,
God.
You want a Keystone Light that's watered down? $12.
I know. Oh, they're watered down, so basically water. I know. It's like I remember going to First Avenue. First Ave is one of the most iconic concert spots in all of Minnesota.
I saw my first metal show there.
Oh no shit! Which one was it?
After the Burial with Emor and Miss May I.
Yeah, that would be a killer show.
I fucking loved it, and that's when I realized, like, I need more of this in my life.
Right. Well, and so like I was there seeing, was it Deftones?
Ooh,
it was Deftones and somebody else. Was it Chevelle? It might have been Deftones and Chevelle.
You saw Chevelle?
I've seen him a couple times.
I'm a little jelly of that.
Yeah,
I got a soft spot for Chevelle.
And I'll say, like, I'm a music nut, no doubt.
Obviously.
But I've been to so many concerts that it's like I hate to word it this way, but it's kind of like the novelty isn't there as much. Like,
okay,
I'm so protective of my free time these days that like the concerts have to be kill switch level. Like I can't just go to any anymore.
That's where you and I differ in age a little bit. Because I'm at that point now where I'm like, I have funds and a way to go. Like I didn't have that younger, so now I'm kind of making up for all of it. That's
right. Well, and you didn't. You haven't been to a million shows.
I've been to a good amount of shows, but not hundreds of shows. You know.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Is like I've been going since I was 16 to everything.
Yeah.
I saw before I graduated high school. I saw Bob Dylan, Steppenwolf,
shit.
Poison.
Ew, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, like I've been going to concerts for oh my god, this is gonna age me 22 years.
I think I was 17 or 18 when I went to my first concert.
Yeah. What was it?
It's actually at the Deck. Burn Halo was the opening act, followed by The Used, which
that's awesome.
That was sweet. And
I love that band.
And Korn was the headliner.
I missed a Korn concert in Duluth.
It was Korn and The Used.
What year was that?
Oh god, 2008, 2007.
I can't believe I missed a Korn concert.
I took my sister to that show. That was her birth. She was a Used fan at the time, and I liked Korn, and that was
yeah. I grew up listening to Korn. Like I mean, I remember when they came out. Like that's
Jonathan Davis coming out wearing a fucking kilt and everything.
I know. I love it. I love that he still does that too. I know.
It was great. It was a good time.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I've seen some really great concerts here in Duluth. One of the most memorable shows I've ever been to was Incubus. It was.
I didn't know they came.
They were in Duluth.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
It was the Morning View tour, and so Morning View had just come out, which is hands down like, as far as like their albums go, that's the best that they ever did.
Okay, I probably know a bunch of songs on that one.
Their first couple. Yeah, Nice to Know You. All of that was on there. So their first album was super good. Second album was like, I think it was Make Yourself. That one's got Drive on it.
Okay.
It's amazing album. And then Morning View was just sort of like that crescendo. It was just
hit it.
Perfect. Albums ever since just haven't quite kind of caught up to that.
I think that's what happens with bands. They make one album that's just so good you can't match it.
Well, exactly. And so I want to say I was 19, either 18 or 19 when I went to this concert. And so I was living in Virginia, Minnesota. So I was going to college there for auto tech. And this one other kid that I knew that I went to school with, he was such a burnout. They called him Whitey because apparently he liked his meth.
Oh, no.
I always ran with the kids who did drugs.
No.
Like that was always my people. And I had my fun too, but I did not do meth.
Yeah,
but
thankfully.
No, I got all my teeth still. This kid, he was good shit, and he and I actually went down to it because I didn't have anybody else that would go with me. So yeah, we went down, and I just absolutely love Incubus. I've always loved that
Wait,
band.
that's fantastic.
And I gotta say, it was one of the most amazing experiences because it's like, you know, you're at this ripe age. You just moved out from mom and dad's house. You're out kind of figuring out. You went there yourself. You're, you know, partying. I was, you know, smoking pot and having a good old time. But what's cool about that album was like they've got a couple of songs that are they're really like beautiful and euphoric.
Yeah.
And it's like they had this giant screen that was behind the band, and when Aqueous Transmission came on, which is like the really gorgeous euphoric one that's all like very nature themed, and there's like, you know, nature sounds and stuff like that in it, but
Feel
it's
like you're on
very
a trip.
yeah, like they started showing like tree frogs in the background and just like these gorgeous images behind the band, and everybody's got lighters lit because at that time everybody just carried a lighter with them. So literally the whole concert went completely black. That was lit up behind the band, and everybody had lighters going, and so it just had this incredible glow to it.
That's
It
fantastic.
it was a very heavenly moment. You know,
I've been to a couple shows where I've had those moments where you're like, this is so. I'll bring up Queen again. They did "Love of My Life,"
my God,
which is
maybe
a
the greatest band ever.
beautiful slow song, and May is playing guitar, and he's out away from the main stage. He's in like the middle of the audience on part of the stage and all that, and they turn off all the lights in the arena. We saw this at XL.
Really?
And everybody turns on their cell phone and use nothing but cell phone light as he plays the entire song acoustic.
That's cool.
And that was beautiful. It was just incredible to
There's
see.
just nothing like live music, man.
It's so good. Yeah, I've been to a couple shows. I've been to some shows that I wish I saw at different venues. I've seen Kill Switch before with Anthrax.
Oh, Anthrax would be so great to see. I haven't seen them.
That was really good. They played with a band called Havoc was the opener, and they're a thrash metal band. And I don't really care for thrash, but that was really fun. But they played at Skyway.
Oh,
And
yeah, it's not a
The
great.
Skyway's a
not
shit
great
venue. So it's like, it was good, but it's a shit venue. Same thing with Rise Against. So, you know, saw Rise Against there with you the weekend you got your wife pregnant.
Yep.
And love Rise Against, but you said you saw them like a year or two later, and they were a completely different band because they're playing at the Armory.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I want to say, oh my God, we saw Rise Against AFI. Might have been Rise
Ooh.
Against AFI.
That would be
and
a great show.
oh God, what was the other band? It's the thing that's a bummer. Is like I've seen so many concerts that it's like I can't remember all the bands I've seen. I don't remember who the opener was, but I remember it being pretty freaking good. It'll come to me in a little bit here, but yeah. When you see Rise Against in the right place, when it basically like if you go to a bad concert venue, it can completely change the
absolutely.
experience. And this place, like the Skyway, at once was awesome.
Yeah,
But it is so dilapidated and beat up. So when we saw who all was there, Rise Against, Pierce the Veil, and
yes. I can't remember who the opener was.
shit, who was the other band?
I'm pretty sure it wasn't shit.
It was a good band too. Why am I drawing a blank on the name?
I can't remember who played with them. I just remember seeing Rise Against.
It was Pierce the Veil was amazing.
And I just
but
remember there being standing water in the bathroom.
that's the thing. So that is where I'm going with all of this. There is zero ventilation in this place,
God, it's
and
hot and nasty
so
and-
when we went in, we got to see Pierce the Veil, and we were in the VIP section. So it was like spacious.
Yeah.
We had an awesome kind of balcony view. That part was freaking awesome. I was like, oh, this is great. Like, I don't mind this place at all. This is a really good spot. Incredible view. And Pierce the Veil absolutely stole the show.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
Then we got told to leave because we realized that it was VIP. So they were like, you guys got to go. So like, fuck. And then we had to go up with the rest of the peasants, which was an overly congested
God.
upper area.
Sticky floor. So the Skyway.
It was 100 degrees plus.
So the
with
sky-
sweaty bodies surrounding you.
The Skyway is an old theater, not a music venue place. It's a theater. Floor fucking slants. The balcony's got fucking levels to it. It's just like they're trying to make the best out of it, but it really needs a lot of money sunk into it.
Yeah, and so the bathroom was a swimming pool of piss.
Yes.
It was literally an overflowing toilet. God knows what was causing the overflowing. I didn't go into the stall, but I can imagine.
So the Skyway's the only place that if a band's playing, like they have to be borderline bucket list for me to go see them there.
Yeah.
Because like the Myth is a great place to go see music.
bad.
That's where we saw Static X.
Yeah.
And that's a great place. I've actually one of my favorite concerts of all time I saw at the Myth.
Mm-hmm.
I saw Of Mice and Men was second.
Cool.
Headliner was A Day to Remember.
Oh,
I went down there with Tanner,
dude.
and that show was fucking crazy good. It was so good.
A Day to Remember is one of the...
They're one of the best bands I've seen live.
They're in my top 10. They might be
Yes.
in my top 5.
They are fantastic live.
Yeah.
They had beach balls they were throwing out and fucking
Yep.
blow up rafts, just full of energy. The lead singer, his sister just gave birth like a couple of days later, so he stopped the entire fucking show and took a selfie with the crowd in the
Oh,
background.
that's fun.
It was so fucking good.
Yeah,
And like
dude.
they just work every rep. They play the audience super well, full of energy. I loved it.
Yeah,
Absolutely
they were
loved it.
fucking
And
great.
of Mice and Men, if you ever get the chance to see them, I was assuming A Day to Remember, I didn't think they were gonna be able to top it. Of Mice and Men was that fucking good.
They might have topped it.
Well, I thought Of Mice and Men was gonna steal the show after their set. They were fantastic. I'm like,
That's cool.
I don't know if A Day to Remember can top this, and they somehow pulled it off. But it was just killer. It was such a good show.
That's awesome, man. That's cool. I didn't know. Like I'll have to kind of keep them in the back of my mind. So I mean, is that one of those concerts that you've been to where the whole lineup was awesome?
I can't remember who the opener was, but it was fantastic. Like I said, the Amore Miss May I after the Beetle show was another one where the entire lineup just fucking shredded. I'd never heard of Amore until that show, and everybody was moving. The lead singer was up and off the fucking stage a couple of times, like just fucking going crazy.
That's super cool.
I think number one show though it was Every Time I Die, who unfortunately broke up about a month ago, with Mastodon and Coheed. That I think is my number one show. I mean, don't get me wrong, Queen is good, but Queen didn't have any other body to play with them. It was just Queen.
Well,
so if we're talking multiple bands at once,
there's no Freddie.
there's no Freddie, but
That's the thing.
fuck was that good.
Queen is like, yes, there's original bandmates that are still there,
Yeah.
but if you take Freddie out of the picture, it's just they're wonderful. They're a huge percentage of the experience, but Freddie Mercury was like literally the greatest performer ever.
You still only get 75% of the show.
Yeah.
They-
I mean, have you seen the video of him where I don't remember exactly which concert it is, but he's doing like the whole Day-O
That's
thing.
Live Aid.
Live Aid, that's
Live
what it
Aid
was.
show, which
it gives me goosebumps every time I watch it.
And okay, that was
Uh-oh.
weird.
That was really weird.
I just,
Sorry guys, I hope that didn't hurt you. Your
sound
ears.
effects.
Zoo, zoo, zoo.
Filming this in 1985.
Right.
So my wife is a huge Queen fan, and today on the Maury show, I mean, I just dated myself with Maury.
I mean, I know Ricky Lake. Get out of here.
Isn't there Offspring make a reference to Ricky Lake in one of their songs?
Yes, pretty fly for a white guy, I think.
Awesome. I'm so glad we were able to connect the dots on that one.
Yep.
But no, she was saying that the reason why they stole the show at Live, like they were the best performance at Live Aid, is they merged like all of their big hits somehow into like 18 minutes that they got.
Jesus.
They played like 2 minutes of each song and just made it one big fucking song.
Wow.
As everybody else
wild.
would play a song and then everyone would clap and they'd play the next song.
Huh.
They mixed their songs in.
I didn't know that. Okay.
So,
That's pretty freaking cool.
So I wish we could see Freddie, but it was one of those like, obviously we can't, but when are they ever gonna tour again?
Oh well, exactly.
Let's go fucking see them.
Yeah. Well, it's a bucket list. It's kind of like you can't pass up the opportunity type of concert. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and that's what I told the wife because I didn't tell her I bought tickets because I know she would have. I love my wife, but she doesn't like spending. She has a hard time spending money. She has a hard time spending money on herself.
Even though she married a car guy.
Yeah, which is ironic because I'll be like, oh, $700 for the Sparko seat. That's a good deal.
Oh yeah, and I completely agree. And I'm over here encouraging you. Yeah, you should do that.
Yeah. So I just bought the fucking tickets and I surprised her for Christmas, and I told him like, just trust me, like you would have regretted not buying them as soon as you possibly could have. If you would have given it 2 weeks, they would have been sold out.
Oh,
like,
totally.
I just like, we're fucking going. We're making this happen. And she loved it, so.
Well, that's good, man. I mean,
the trade-off was you had to go see Mastodon and Coheed with me, which she ended up loving that too. So,
well, Coheed is an amazing band. Like I've gotten to see Coheed once or twice.
I don't know if they're the best band I've seen live, but I'd put them in the top 3 because they.
Oh wow. They're in my top 10 for sure. Like maybe top 5.
For sure,
maybe number 5.
I'd say for sure top 5, maybe top 3. Couple reasons. They sound exactly like their recordings, like 100% spot on. Like if somebody just put a CD in and they fucking cranked it, and they're just full of energy. Like you see you see their music videos where they're all over the fucking place and bobbing their head and shit, and that's how they perform. They perform like their music videos. So that kind of goes a long way for me. Because I've seen a couple bands where they don't quite sound like they're recording, and it kind of bugs me a little bit because you're making yourself sound better than you are, you know?
Oh, totally. Yeah.
That just irks me a little bit. So to see a band just be 100% true, it goes a long way.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Oh man, we could definitely keep going on the music tangent. I want to end it by just like
inappropriate jokes.
If you had, and not just in the podcast, because we actually got a few other things to cover, but so when I had asked if there's any concerts that you've been to where it's like the entire lineup was just like memorable, every one of them.
I would say the Coheed concert.
And what were the bands again?
Every Time I Die, Mastodon, and Coheed.
Okay.
And I didn't really know Every Time I Die.
Yeah, see, I don't know them either.
They're a heavier. How do I put this? Depending on their song, they have some songs that are more screaming. But they're you would like them. They're a little rammy in some songs. They're kind of hard to place. I'd say like a heavier, Rise Against or a Day to Remember style stuff like that. Just look them up. You'll like them.
I'll have to take that. I'll take a look at that.
Yeah, Mastodon blew me away completely.
They're fun just on their albums, so I can imagine.
I didn't really know them at the time. I knew some of their songs, but after seeing them live, like they jumped into my top 10 favorite bands. I was like, holy shit, I have to listen to more of these guys. They're fucking phenomenal. And then Coheed as well. So that might be the best overall concert I've gone to because everybody just killed it. It was so good. And it was at the Armory, which is like the best place in town to see music.
Yeah.
So that helps.
It really is like one of the best venues. Okay, so I mean I have been to enough concerts where it is kind of tough to pinpoint my favorite where like the whole lineup was.
Let me guess, Dio and then a Madonna cover band. As the headliner. Because Dio can't headline anything.
Yeah. Okay, so on our honeymoon, wife and I had just gotten married. On our honeymoon, we went out to the Pacific Northwest, and we went and stopped in Spokane to see Ryan, Ryan and Mara, and we went to a concert there. It was headliner was Blink-182, A Day to Remember, All American Rejects.
God, that's a great lineup.
It's a killer lineup.
Yeah, I would definitely make the best out of that.
So, like, I've seen some amazing shows. I've seen Tool twice. I've seen Pussifer. I've seen Nine Inch Nails. I've seen Deftones, I think 4 times. I've been to a lot of like really memorable concerts. And I gotta say, like, this one was really fun. Where every single one of the bands was just like, so All American Rejects went up there. I could not believe how good that was. The lead singer could have been a stand-up comedian.
Really?
We laughed as much as we cheered for that band. They were so fun. Their music was great.
There's some really good songs, don't get me wrong, but they never strike me as a band that would put on a fantastic set.
Their set was fucking awesome. I saw it and I was like, how do the other bands top this? And then A Day to Remember came out and I was like, oh my God, they're like, yes, they are throwing fucking beach balls out in the crowd. They're doing the surfing with the big fucking canoe raft thing.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, there's a giant ball that the lead singer is in, singing from inside of it, running across the crowd, like crowd surfing in a gigantic blow up ball
as he sings.
Ridiculous theatrics, and the kicker was it was a great show. It was great music. So somehow they put on this show that was so ridiculously it just stole your attention because it was captivating. It was a massive fucking party. And then Blink-182 came on, and it was like they had broken up for a decade or more. No, more than that. I don't think they were together since I was in high school. So it was, 15 years later or something like that. They were back together, and the concert was fucking awesome, dude. It's like their venue was great. They didn't have the exact same energy as they did when they were younger, because the cohesion wasn't like perfect, but it was still a really great set. So yeah, it was
sounds fun as hell.
It was really memorable. It was a great experience.
See, and that's what concerts are about.
Yeah, there's a lot of good ones. Let me tell you, a band that I was so pleasantly surprised with was Papa Roach. So
really,
oh my God, who's the first band?
Papa Roach is one of those, like, I like some of their music.
Atreyu?
Ooh,
I can't remember if it was. I think it was Atreyu, Chevelle, Papa Roach. They played in Duluth.
I have a soft spot for Atreyu.
They're good shit.
I like Atreyu.
So I could not believe it. Chevelle was pretty good. Their stage presence was a little lackluster. It was a little bit bland, but the music was spot on. It was like they sounded like they were playing a CD almost. They were so good. They weren't, but it sounded like it could have been. And Papa Roach was another one of those bands that is they are a Day to Remember level of captivating.
That surprises me.
Stage presence is amazing. Their live show is so fucking good.
That just surprises the hell out of me.
Straight up pros. They are worth every penny to go and see live.
Maybe I will see. I'm not a big Papa Roach fan, but maybe I'll go see them.
Yeah, it was great. Another band that has like a really like Breaking Benjamin. Breaking Benjamin was really good live too.
Okay.
Yeah, there's some bands that'll surprise the hell out of you that have solid live performances.
I've been surprised by ska bands.
They're the best, dude.
I've been to 2 Warped
Tours.
Yep.
Yeah, that's where you see all the ska, man.
Yeah, I got to see. I've seen Less Than Jake and Real Big Fish.
Oh, Real Big Fish are so good live.
They are fantastic. They stopped their set and brought a random dude up on stage and shaved his head into a mohawk.
Of course they did.
Like, why the fuck not? Like,
why wouldn't you?
We're not gonna play music. We're gonna give haircuts.
Oh my God,
it was so fucking good. I saw Andrew WK at that same.
Oh no shit.
At that same Warped Tour.
Oh man, that's so good. I loved Warped Tour. That
We
was
Came
fun.
As Romans was there, which they were pretty fun. Saw Miss May. I Set to Kill. That was good fucking time. I miss Warped Tour. You just saw fucking all sorts of shit there.
It was great. Yeah, solid.
People died of dehydration. But it was fun.
Well, and the porta potties are up to ass level in tampons.
Oh yeah, yeah. You'll die of either dehydration or dysentery at a Warped Tour. They should make a game about that. Fuck the Oregon Trail. Make a Warped Tour like old school computer game and see if you can not die of dysentery or dehydration at Warped Tour.
No shit, man. All right, so we're gonna pivot over. We're gonna take just a couple of minutes to do this because I'm really excited. We are using the Riverside application now,
Yes.
so we're actually using a different streaming software.
Yeah, we're using Riverside while in West Duluth, which is weird.
Oh, that's funny. So that's a joke because Riverside is a place.
Yeah, if you're
Duluth.
not from Duluth, that goes right over your head.
Yeah. Cool, buddy. So there's a couple of cars that I want to show. I'm going to start off with the one that's just kind of a... there we go. So I think that this would be a super fun a builder. So I don't know if you've ever seen one of these before, but this is
Not
a...
one of those. I've seen Nash's.
Nash.
Not like that.
We're waiting on your shitty internet. This is a Nash Ambassador.
Shitty internet.
And,
Does it come with the dog? Or the trailer? I'd take either the dog or the trailer.
What we got here. Okay, so this is, I love all 50s, or most 50s cars because they're just so weird. But so in the back of the shoebox, you've got like this fender that covers half of the wheel and tire.
Yeah.
And what's so weird about these is that the front does the same thing. Like the front fenders cover half of the wheel and tire.
I like that. I like the little chrome strip at the very bottom of the body line, by the way. And I kind of like the fact that it looks like the original hot hatch.
Oh my God, you're right. That does look like a hatchback.
Yeah, it's a hot hatch. Just
wow.
from the 50s and weighs a fuck ton and is not hot by any means.
Yeah, no, it's nice and crusty. I see. Okay, when I saw this, I just fell in love because I was like, imagine this thing, like big ass wheels.
Oh yeah, just slammed as shit.
Airbagged, just sitting on the ground. It's super ugly, but also kind of lovable.
It's
one of those.
because it's ugly. It's a lot like you.
Thank you. Yes, exactly. That's why the wife likes me.
At the back of this car was your forehead. It just goes on forever.
My 5 head. Yeah, exactly, dude. I know. I fucking love this thing. It's super ugly and cool and stupid looking, and it probably has no floors.
And you probably can't get parts for it at all.
I think you can. I think the
Nashes are weird.
They're kind of hit or miss.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't remember if this is a body on frame or if it's a unibody. I don't think it's a unibody. But yeah, so it's a weird one, and I love it.
I would totally scoop it up for $2,500. I'd offer him $2,000.
Well, and here's the kicker.
Sweet.
Okay, so listed 3 weeks ago. No, this fucker has been on Marketplace since like last fall.
Oh, here's $500.
Yeah, so it's like you go say like I got $1,500 cash if you'll take it, and that's probably something you could walk away with, and it looks complete.
It does look complete. It looks solid too, which is nice.
Now, I guarantee with how it's sunken into the ground, you're replacing the floors.
Oh yeah, we'll replace the floors. We'll put an S10 clip on the front. And I'll swap it.
We'll just put a whole S10 frame underneath it. Or we'll just build our own frame.
It'll be the same exact video series that we're doing with the shoebox, just with a Nash.
Nice. I can dig that. Except if we built this thing, we'd have to do something insane with it. Like
gull wing doors.
We would do no, not that. Not we're not going that direction. No, no, that is not where I was going with this. No, man, we'd do like a 4-link setup in the back. We'd do like, basically we'd stuff an S10 frame under this thing, or we'd build our own frame. We'd do a 4-link. We do like a Mustang 2 or something like that on the front of it. But then like we would put a turbo LS in it.
I like that idea.
Like we would this hideous car on air,
we'd just smoke them
with a 700 horsepower engine.
I love everything
where like
about that.
It tucks so much of the tire that the tire smoke wouldn't know where to go.
We would have to have vents behind it just so the tire smoke can go.
We'd have
to
electric
atmosphere.
fans like blowing out of the back of the fenders. We'd have little like fins cut just to blow smoke.
God, that'd be funny.
No, it would be a laugh. Like I would love to take something as hideous and silly as this and make it just like an absolute tire shredder. So
I like it. Then again, I like weird shit. You're coming from a guy that wants a Subaru Brat. So
yeah,
take it as you want, but totally buy the shit.
Well, and that's the thing is like I really like my ugly fun cars, my ugly goofy cars. Like I've always been one for Studebakers. I fucking love Studebakers.
Yeah, they have that kind of goofy front end to them.
A lot of them do. Yeah, they're just really silly, goofy looking little cars. Not little, but goofy looking cars.
So there's nothing little about them.
No, there really isn't. Yeah, so let's pull up the. All right, so I've got another thing here. I want to show you. So this is really neat, and I think it continues to be for sale because the guy wants a shitload of money for this.
For sale before.
So we're talking. This is a $70,000 Beetle.
Yeah, because it's fucking gorgeous.
Well, there's nothing like it.
No, it's one of those things. It's worth what somebody's willing to pay for it.
Exactly. So I don't know how much of it is actually a Beetle. If it's just like literally a Beetle is like set on top of it. But so we're talking. Okay, so we'd have to pull up this website to try and get the build sheet. It's a supercharged Hemi, so I'm guessing it's a Hellcat setup. Just the presence of it is fucking wild.
I love the symmetry, by the way.
Yeah, right? Yeah, the only thing is like the fucking air filter is like ever so slightly off kilter, but
you make it the best you can, you know.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Like I think we can
You're gonna
offer
overlook
that
by the fact that there's a Hellcat motor. Fucking
well,
bug,
yeah,
you know?
exactly. Let's see if we can
pull
pull
up.
up.
You're not gonna nitpick like, you got the air filter 3 inches off. This guy can't
yeah,
fucking
well,
do
clearly
shit.
you screwed this whole thing up because of this
I'll
little
give you $5,000 for it.
tiny detail. So Lucky Gunner Garage. Let's make sure that this is pulling up for you guys. Okay, so it's not. So we're gonna pull this one up. Bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. This pulled up a new tab, so I gotta make sure that we have the correct tab selected. Good, I'm glad that I checked that.
Let's see if it works.
Okay, so Lucky Gunner Garage. These guys must be the ones who built it then.
Apparently build Volkswagen Bugs.
Yeah. So, okay, it's almost everything on the car is hand-built, including the entire frame. Okay, so it is literally a bug body set on top of a hand-built frame.
It's cool as shit, though.
It is, yeah. Yeah, it's really unique. Let's just make sure that this is working for you guys. Okay, good. Yeah, my God, what a creative build. So it's kind of built in the Volksrad style.
Yeah, I can see why it's priced at what it's priced at too. Because like I said, you can't walk into a dealership and give me a price tag on this. You know, it's so different and so unique that I think $70,000 is probably a good asking price. He'll probably get closer to 55, maybe 50.
Yeah. Yeah, if I had to guess, if I had to price this thing, I'd guess that it'd be closer to 50. But here's the thing, I wouldn't disagree with the 70,000. I think he's got priced at 69,000 or something like that.
I think that's, like I said, I think that's a solid asking price.
Yeah, I actually for the amount of work that's gone into it, and just looking at the fabrication, it is actually pretty amazing. Yeah. I mean, look at the level of detail. The headlight is connected to the Heims joint, so it literally the headlights steer with the steering.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Like that's right, just behind the headlight. There's a mount that literally attaches to a Heim joint on the steering.
Are you sure? That looks like tie rods off the steering rack.
Yeah, but look at the headlight. Like, it's turned. It almost looks like the headlight's pointing.
It might be the angle of the picture.
Oh, shit. No, you're right. I'm wrong.
That looks like
because the tire's not turning towards the headlight.
Yeah, and that looks like it's mounted on its own little bracket.
I was going to say, Jesus, like the engineering they'd have to do to do that.
We should do that to something. Yeah, I love that idea. That's a brilliant fucking idea.
They do that on like Model A's, old school Model A's sometimes. Okay, so I was wrong. Okay,
so it's only worth like
$45,000
because the fucking headlights don't turn on the wheels.
Piece of shit. Yeah, this thing is too cool.
It's fucking beautiful.
Yeah, it just really neat, like details. I just love like the beadwork in the interior. There's just so many hours
the
into
fucking,
this.
indented Volkswagen logo on the door
So
cards.
they bead rolled Volkswagen into the door
so
pieces.
nice.
It's incredibly creative. Now we don't know what it drives like. It could be a
That's
total
true.
nightmare to drive.
It could be a SEMA car.
Exactly. It could be. Or maybe it's a laugh. We don't know. So I thought it was super neat. Had to share it with you guys.
So if you
now
guys-
looking at the steering column, the weld around that steering column is not so hot.
That was the intern.
Let's not worry. Let's not fixate on that. We're gonna move on.
They had a guy from the local community college come down and roll that up.
Yeah, exactly. The tech school. Yeah, man. But yeah, it's cool. I had to share this.
Oh, it's got neons though. So I mean, come on, that's worth.
Well, that's worth 10 grand right there. Yeah, incredibly creative build.
I like how we're nitpicking this when neither one of
Oh,
us.
there's
could
our
touch
frame.
this. It's a solid frame.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm trying to make sense of which way's which here.
when did that? No, I'm not sure.
So
I think that would be the front, wouldn't it?
I think it's got an IRS. Obviously, it's got an independent front suspension. Okay, here we go. Wow. So it has an IRS in the back. I'm going to guess that's like it's probably an 8.8. So it's like a Explorer IRS independent rear suspension. The front end it looks kind of Mustang 2-ish a little bit. Like it's A-arms.
Yeah, you're gonna know
maybe
that better than I
Sprint.
do.
It's cool. Like it's really unique, creative.
I am curious.
Creative engineering.
Like you said, I am curious on how it drives.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like,
Let's
how
also,
does it actually do?
See if we can take it for a test drive.
Yeah. Oh, there's a video. Okay, what's the odds here? Let's see if I don't know. This could like completely ruin the whole experience for everybody. So hang on, guys. I just again want to make sure that this is working for you. Okay,
Not
looks
to
like it's
shit talk these guys at all, but you're asking $70K for a car, and this looks like an okay cell phone video.
Yeah, I know, right? Wow. Sounds cool. I do love the sound of those new Hemis.
Yep, it's got a steering wheel.
It's in there. The weld is still ugly, but I love that we're like looking at all of this amazing engineering, and I'm like, oh, but this weld looks like bird shit.
Yep, comes with a tail light.
Yep, we got taillights, we got exhaust pipes.
Yep, you got
Yeah,
deck lid.
this is really creative.
Oh,
That's
what's it
it.
drive
That's
though?
fucking all they give you.
So we know it runs. We don't know if it drives.
So it'll idle in a driveway.
Yeah, it might not stop, but it'll make cool noises for you.
Yeah, man. I know it's pretty cool.
It's very cool.
I had to share that with you guys. It's fun. I'm just happy to bring back the marketplace.
Yes.
Like we're gonna try and do our best to make this a
It should
regular
come
thing
back.
because it's so fun.
Well, you see that, and then you see like airplane houses for sale and fucking homemade
my
cars
God.
and shit like that. And
Well, we were finding submarines,
So I was gonna say
and just like
submarines,
the insane shit that we were
custom built
finding.
motorcycles. And
So my marketplace has changed drastically. So when we were doing marketplace finds on our podcast, I would end up with so much hilarious shit.
yeah.
And now it's so much more normal. It's air cooled Volkswagens.
used underwear.
It's
80s
yeah,
action figures.
yes. No, I don't even know what it is. Yeah, no, it's mostly just car and motorcycle stuff. You know, it's ruckuses. It's all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. It's so much more boring. I miss the days when we would have like, I don't know, plain fuselages that
just
are
random shit.
homes and
Like old Greyhound
know,
buses and shit like that.
do-it-yourself submarines that look
Yes.
like a tomb.
Yes, we need more of that. It is a tomb.
So
It's-
we need to bring this back.
we are gonna bring it back.
We're gonna bring it back.
Just like the mullet, we're bringing it back.
We're bringing it back. Yeah, are you gonna grow one?
Fuck no.
I don't got enough hair.
I'm married.
There's no party up front. There's bald spot up
I was gonna
front.
say there's a A delay?
There's
what,
yeah,
what would you call
pretty
it?
much. Well, okay, so if party up front, business, no, it's business up front, party in the back. So what would this be? This is like soup kitchen in the front, party in the back.
I'd say soup kitchen in the front, and then like 12-year-old birthday party going on in the back.
Okay.
And not like at a Chuck E. Cheese, more like at your grandparents' house with the store-bought cupcakes.
Okay. The sugar-free ones that give you diarrhea.
where you can't get a Coke, but you get a
my
good
God.
Shasta.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. If you're still with us, that is the icing on the top of this shit cake. There it is. Thank you very much for staying with us. Thank you for watching this podcast. Thank you for supporting Dad Mods.
Thank you for being you and letting us be us.
This is awesome. We are so close to actually reaching monetization level with our main channel.
For
Finally,
just pennies on the day, you can help support a channel.
literally, that's where it's at. This is great. Well, thank you guys so much. Thank you.
It's been a ride.
This is another episode of the Brews with the Dudes podcast.
Check out the other episodes. Check out the Dad Mods channel. If you're in town, check out Machines and Caffeine when that comes around. Check out Motorhead Madness in a couple of weeks. Check us out. Check everything out.
And we'll check you guys out
on the next episode.
Bye-bye.